Yeah, that's what we got so far. Hey, what's up, executives at TDS? I'm doing a walk in the beautiful Kentucky evening. Can you hear the birdies? You guys, I know this is a weird situation, okay? Your problem is you're fucked. You're totally fucked. I've got like between insiders and agents, like I'm over, 17, 18 piling up. I just got some information today that's fucking mind-blowing. So anyhow, I'm just a man of the people. I'm just one of the plebes, you know, just a fighter for we the people. My goals here are altruistic in nature. I just want a better quality environment for the people that are out there working their asses off, the blue collar, the lower economic strata that powers all the fucking revenues and profits so you guys can go up to Wall Street and do your thing, right? If you're gonna fucking cut corners in a business like that, why the hell are you gonna do that to your labor? It's stupid, it's dumb, it's short-sighted, it's rampant in many industries in our country, and it's just dumb, bad business, okay? You guys are doing bad business, and the fact that you're publicly traded, you know, you're fucking your stockholders over by this cover-up.
And Bryce, when I met him, well, I just met him like on computers, not personally in person, but he was a nice person. He helped me one time. I started as commissions only. I was not making like too much money then. They moved to hourly rate. I did a lot of things. I used to manage a solar campaign, and like I've done like a lot of positions in that company, but the last one was on the welcome call team for the fiber internet companies. Mm-hmm. We handle different ISPs like a lot of other companies. So I started seeing that there was like a problem on payment. Like we got paid super late, and not only that, we had like to call them and like kind of like stalk them to them get us paid. And I got frustrated, and I don't know what, like, I don't want to talk bad about Stephanie, but I started having like problems with her. And one day she wanted me to log out. Like I had a calendar, and she asked me, oh, can you log out? There's not too many calls to make. And I was like, no, I won't do that because I need the hours. Like I need the money. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to do outbound sales calls. That way my salary can be like I'm earning those hours, not for free, you know? Mm-hmm. And she was like very rude, saying like, okay, you're not following my instructions. She kind of like banned me of all the portals and everything. And I talked to Lane and Bryce, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, this just happened. And Lane told me, okay, take the day off. We're going to solve this tomorrow. Don't worry. And guess what? Next day, Stephanie just sent me like a termination letter out of nowhere. Like, I was even older than her in the company. And Bryce never called me. Lane never called me. Stephanie, she did an awful thing doing that. I don't know if they were like, because I was all the time asking about payment. Like we had like a group with the sales guys, and I was like, hey, when are we getting paid? And they all the time deleted my messages from that group. So I don't know if they kind of like fired me because I was starting like making too many questions, and I was kind of like becoming a problem. But somehow Stephanie was not a good person at that time with me.
So can I
have nothing.
can I ask a question on that if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Okay, so at that point you were in the company already for roughly 3 years, almost.
Yes.
Okay, and when did Stephanie start approximately? What, a year or two into you being there?
I don't know, but she was not older than me. Like, she had less time in the company, but that's not the problem. Like,
well,
I don't.
Can I tell you why I'm asking though? Because it is relevant, right? So, what I'm focused on, right, with this whole thing, if you look back on Bryce Baker's history, he's been doing payroll scams of some variety or another since 2019 at least, right? That's in the public domain and reviews and other things. And between all the whistleblowers that have called in, one of the, and I'm just sharing this with you, some feedback on this issue, is that what these guys do is they bring employees into their dirty water, if you know what I mean by that. So oftentimes I've run across so far in this story where it's like that what you're describing isn't a one-off, just for whatever that's worth. So I just want to share that with you. So.
Yeah, I didn't know like he had that type of problems on pain, but I started seeing that the last year, which was this year. Like, he was so late, or he was doing partial payments, and not only that, when they fired me, I only had 3 sales that I've done, and they were not paid. The agreement was $200 per sale, because I did them on my free time, because the welcome call team was usually all back to back, so I didn't have time to make them on my schedule. And the agreement was $200 for every sale you bring back, and they never paid me that. They didn't pay me my hours that I already worked. So I started like calling him every day, never replied. So what I did, I don't feel proud of doing that because, family has nothing to do, but I started texting his wife. I started texting all of his friends from Facebook, all the people he followed on Instagram. And that way I got his attention. He was like, hey, I'm going to sue you. You're going to know from my lawyer because you're doing defamation against me. You're saying things that are not true. And he changed all the commissions terms, like, I don't owe you $200 per sale, I owe you less. And still, like, just to keep me quiet, he sent me an amount of money, but he still owes me almost $500. And that was it. That was like probably 2 months ago. And it just sucked. And I know people, like, I have a very close friend who was a very good friend with him, that they fired him and they never paid him either.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you had that experience. It really sucks.
Yeah.
So during the time that you worked with him, like going back to the beginning, and again, I'm trying to be fair too, right? Like, Bryce called me up, and I don't know if you heard the call, but it didn't end well, and it's just because he was, talking in circles and doing his con man stuff. But at the same time, like, I do want, to have the whole story told in its entirety. So you have some pretty unique insight. Those first few years you were there, I mean, was this going, like, did you notice other red flags, I guess is what I'm asking, before? From
the beginning, no. I didn't. I was living in Houston when I applied. Caitlin was like the recruiter. I don't know if she still works with them. And then I got divorced. I was married to a U.S. citizen. I got back to my home country. And I stayed working with them. And everything was fine. But let's say last year in November, December, things started getting shady. Like, you had to be pushing and harassing them to get paid. Like, you were never, like, you will never know when your money will arrive. You got partial payments, and they never answered the phone. Like, Bryce never answered Lane. And I don't know if they have like a sentimental relationship. I don't know, but That's what people were saying, but it was very shady, like how they end up stuff. Like, it's sad because I had like a good picture of them, but the way they end up things with me, that was not professional, and that was not okay.
Yeah, well, it's not okay to, steal somebody's human capital and labor in any way, right? Because that's theft. And what's interesting about hearing all these different timelines and perspectives, right, as everybody's calling in, I'm able to kind of weave a tapestry of the Ponzi scheme itself, because from your perspective, you didn't see what was going on during that, that first period. But I have witnesses and testimony going back to 2 years prior during that time where they were already having issues before the Fiber First deal. So it's the issues go way farther back. And so I think what happened is the 25, they just got their accounts frozen by the sheriff by a lawsuit they lost. And so I think what just happened is in the last 60 or 90 days, it just finally fell on top of them. And so it's been a game the last, few weeks, literally of, I don't know if extortion's the right word or whatever it is, but they're literally, they're trying to keep people quiet, and that's just, that's kind of self-evident that it's bad, right? So
I think what they're trying to do, I don't know, like when you make a sale on Fiverr, you make the installation, and what he's fighting, what he was fighting with me, and I'm glad I took screenshots of my sales.
Yeah.
They removed all the access and they removed all my sales, but I took pictures before they did that. He was telling me, and the sales you had, they were canceled, so there's like a chargeback. I don't know what was the term itself, but he was telling me that my sales were like lost, and they charged the company for that. And I was like, guys, stop building things, because I have pictures and I can call the clients right now and they will tell you that they are NextLink clients, or these ISPs specifically.
Well, I was just gonna ask you, those are NextLink deals?
I think so. I really don't remember exactly, but I think one or two were, because we used to manage several ISPs.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
And I know Larry, for example, he had the same issue. Like, he was like the top seller at the company, and I know he mentioned that he was not getting paid because apparently a lot were chargebacks. And I was like, I don't think that's possible, but yeah, like. And if that was the case, I think Bryce needs to have like a backup plan, or make a better deal with the ISP's companies to have his back covered. But I don't know. I don't want to say that he was taking all that money for himself, but it looks like that's what he was doing.
I can just be candid with you and tell you that I've got other corroborating testimony that says he did. And deal audits of thousands of deals with anomalies and orphan deals that by design are stolen from reps after they've been bullied away. It's a disgusting pattern. Like I told him in the call with him the other day, it's unconscionable. The man's got to go to prison. It's egregious. By my calculations, he's committed over 200 felonies. It's insane.
Wow.
It's insane. So I have to just get this, get it to law enforcement in Idaho and let them, let him deal with the law, because that's what it's for. And your timing couldn't be any better, because quite literally, I just called into NextLink earlier, about an hour or two ago, and I'm looking for comment from the CEO of NextLink, because I'm going to suggest, and I've already tabled this publicly, that NextLink pays Larry the $28,000 in commissions he's owed, roughly, and they claw, Beyond Pro back, and so we're going to just take it right up to the ISPs, because at the end of the day, if the ISPs are making money off their brand being sold and fraud is being done in their names, they are culpable and they have responsibility, and they have to address it. They can't just say, "Oh no, not our problem. It's a sales channel." So, anyways, that's my opinion.
I was doing my math and I was checking Bryce's messages, and I told him exactly what he was like, what they owe me, and he only sent me like a partial payment, and that's it. Like, I never get back to him because I knew he was not gonna send me like the remaining. I was just exhausted at that point.
Sure.
I was with no job for 2 months. I am a single mom of 2 kids, so it was very frustrating.
I understand. So, can I make a suggestion? Maybe if you got a minute, if you can get me those screen grabs and then what he still owes you, I'm happy to put it in my edit that's going out in about an hour and put it in with this this other one I'm putting out.
Sure, I can do that. I even had messages when I was like trying to get him, and all he said was like, I don't have anything to send right now. I will call you on Monday and go through it and handle them when we get a deposit. I am at the dentist. I can't look at anything. And I tried to call him on Monday and he never replied me back. Like, yeah.
And so this recent engagement with him. So when did you exit? When did you quit, or when did they fire you? I'm sorry.
Give me a second. Let me go open the email.
Okay.
Just a moment.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna check if I still have it on my phone, because they never gave us like business emails. They asked us to do like your first name.beyondpro@gmail.com.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own access to all this fraud. That's I've been told that too. Somebody else told me the same thing, that they don't understand if they're going to do this kind of fraudulent activity, why they would leave it all laying out in the road, if so to speak,
Yeah, I can even send you the picture of the termination letter. Like,
Sure.
It was so disgusting that they never called me. Like, Lane the day before said, I'm going to call you tomorrow and we're going to solve this. Because I was having problems with his stuff, and I was like, I'm just trying to work. I'm just trying to earn my salary, and she's not letting me work. And next day, Stephanie just sent me like the termination letter, which was really ugly. But yeah.
Yeah, they did a real ugly one with Larry as well. Real condescending and nasty.
And the issue of the termination was due to ongoing performance issues. Like, wow. I was super loyal to that company until that day that they kind of threw me away like a dog.
So you were, so what was it? So you left in what, April, May or something?
Let's see. Gosh, 1 second. The termination was on March 18.
Okay.
But they removed my access from everything on the 17th.
Okay.
And Stephanie sent me the termination letter on March 18 at 3:27 p.m.
And from March 18th, roughly, up until the date he actually gave you money to try and, do his little thing, when was that?
Okay, so I'm trying to check the emails for that and see. Okay, May, it was on May. Let's see.
So about 2 months.
May 15.
Yeah, okay, so about March, April, yeah, so about 2 months. And then during that 2-month period is when you had put public pressure on them?
Yeah, and it was kind of like stupid because they were like, you're going to get paid on the regular billing cycle. And I was like, you terminated me. Like, why should I have to wait on the next billing cycle? Like, if you're going to finish my contract, pay me what's owed and I'm done.
Well, Idaho state law says they have 10 days or next pay cycle, which would be the next week.
Yeah, but they took more than that.
Of course.
And he only paid me because I text his wife, I text all of his friends, and then he reached me out like, you're gonna get to hear from my lawyer because this is defamation, and I need you to apologize with all the people you text. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have that in writing, or is that a call, or?
Yeah, through text.
Well, I'll tell you what.
There are two options moving forward. Yeah. Retract your messages just sent to everyone, or you deal with only my lawyer.
And did you ever hear from the lawyer by not acting?
No.
Of course, because you know who his lawyer is?
No.
It's his lawyer's name. The name of the law firm is Imaginary Lawyer Dude, PLLC. I don't think it exists. We got the same thing. And I says, well, okay, let my lawyer talk to your lawyer. Sounds great.
and he never provided an attorney. So I just got information that the sheriff just very recently raided and froze all their accounts anyways. And that's, you know, why in the last few weeks they're pretty cooked, you know. So what really this is going to go towards long term is, you know, we're going to serve up this criminal referral to the Attorney General of Idaho this week. They'll probably be in contact with you, get affidavits, you know, they're going to do their whatever their process is. And then from there, I'm going to lobby at the state level to have any sales channel in the direct sales industry in internet specifically have a requirement where if you do more than 25 activations a month as an entity, you're going to be required to get a surety bond, much like a contractor. So that way, if a commission is not paid, the potential victim has opportunity to file a claim against the bond and have that arbitrated. And what that is going to do, in my opinion, is install a mechanism legally to where it'll kind of police itself. In other words, a company that's doing a sales channel, they're not even going to want to have one claim because it's going to say to the ISP, hey, you know what? These guys might not be doing business well. Maybe we shouldn't give them any more leads. Does that make sense? So it's just kind of like a process to build in as a solution. And so that's kind of the long-term goal. This is also going to be a feature documentary film because it's just so much. The story is so crazy.
On LinkedIn, I'm trying to get into my messages. I try to reach out like the person in charge of the sales on Nextlink, for example.
Yeah.
Let me go. I'm trying to go
Yeah,
back.
we have his information already too. The liaison there that came over from Fiber First, I think his name is Joe something.
I'm trying to check, but the thing is that I text him and on LinkedIn, and I was like, hey, you should reconsider doing business with this company because the sales we are making, they're not getting them paid to us, the sales reps. And he was like, I'm sorry, not Justin. Scott, I think it's his, no. I'll have to take a look, but point is that he was like, I'm not the one in charge anymore. You should talk with this person. But somehow this guy sent a screenshot of my message to Bryce. And Bryce texted me that day like, oh, that's lovely that you're texting our providers. Like,
wait, let me slow down here. This is a key piece here. So I want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So you went on LinkedIn and you addressed the executive or middle management contact that you're under the assumption was Bryce's person at Nextlink. That person says, hey, no, not my thing anymore. It's somebody else. Then when you get the loop back from Bryce where he says, hey, you're texting people. Does Bryce say LinkedIn specifically, or does he bring up that text? Or
I think I don't have that part. I think I don't have that text, but he was like, you're texting our providers and all you're doing is like ruining or messing with yourself.
Okay.
But like I text this guy, hey, you shouldn't be doing business, or you should like take a look on how you're doing business with this company because the sales people is making, they're not getting paid to the people that make those sales. Like the company is not paying us. And he was like, you should address this with this person. I'm just trying to see if I find that. And then somehow Bryce noticed I had that conversation with that person.
Okay, so he was tipped. The only way he would know that is if he was tipped off by the Nextlink guy that you talked to on LinkedIn.
Dave Eller, he's the sales and business development leadership. So
Dave Eller?
Was,
Dave Eller, you said?
Yeah, he said, hi, Elena, sounds like a mess. I have not worked at Lightcurve for several months, and I didn't work with residential at all. Beth Barnes is the VP of residential. She will likely hand you off to someone else, but it's worth a shot. Good luck. But somehow that message was sent to Bryce. So
is that Lightcurve or Nextlink?
Apparently this is Lightcurve, sorry, yes.
Okay, that's okay. I just want to make sure I got the company straight. I actually did a campaign for Lightcurve myself, which is how this whole thing started for my partner and I, because we also sell fiber. And between our team and all of our commissions, we were owed $15,000 and they were trying to steal it. So that's how this started for us, Lightcurve. So.
Wow.
Okay. So you know what I would really like to get, if you can, I know you have a lot of stuff, and by the way, I appreciate your time. is, I would say the most urgent piece of data, if you can find it, would be very specifically the money you're owed from Nextlink, because that literally is a story I got going into editing right now. And like, even if it's just a one deal or 20 deals, it doesn't matter.
Well, at this point, with the money Bryce sent me the other time, I could consider the 3 sales I did were paid, but Bryce directly still owes me hours.
Okay, so, well, that's, I suppose you can consider the payment so far as part of the hours, since Bryce homogenized all that money into the fraud. You know, I think that's a fair paradigm. So how much did he owe you, and then how much?
Right now, he owes me, it's, as I told you yesterday, it's not like a super big amount, but it was $450. I can go back and give you like this, how much it was when they fired me. Like, he was sending me like partial payments.
Okay, I got an idea. Since we're not going to, and sorry to interrupt, but I have an idea. Since we're obviously not going to get the money out of Bryce, I think Bryce is going to have to spend all his money on a criminal lawyer in the next week. I think let's go ahead and see if the CEO of Nextlink, Bill Baker, thinks it's reasonable that and again, this is if we can document it, right? If you were to be paid $200 commissions for Nextel orders, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and in that last batch, in that 3 orders or deals, were two of them Nextlink? One of them, do you remember?
I'll have to check like my screenshots. You know, something that I just remember right now. I used to manage solar campaign. I don't remember the name of the solar companies, but we stopped selling those because Bryce said that they took too long to get like reimbursed, to get paid, like 3 to 6, 9 months. I remember I did like lots of sales, and now that I think about it, they never paid me those either. And that was like more than a year ago. But, you know, he was like, no, those were get paid soon, whatever. But then I got paid hourly. They increased my hourly rate. And I was fine with that. But now that I think I got never paid the salaries once.
In retrospect, seeing the pattern, it's probable they probably penciled you, you know, where they pretended it isn't paid.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's, you know, what's sad about this whole thing? Like, even my business partner, you know, he's a real smart young kid. And, you know, we have a whole business thing we're doing together. And we, you know, we met doing fiber together and all this stuff. And he's been through the ringer, right? Like, when I got involved, they were already stroking him and giving him the runaround for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, right? And he was kind of afraid to tell me because he, you know, he knew I would jump in and freak out. And he was, I guess the point I'm trying to make is kind of like you, right? I can even tell in the way you're telling the story and your experience, even still, you're trying to give the guy a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. And even my partner, who's been lied to literally like 30 or 40 times, and we've been through the ringer and it's just been a mess and all the stress. Even a few days ago, was kind of under the guy's spell a little bit. So in all fairness, like, this guy, Bryce Baker, he's like a case study for a very high level, in my opinion, like, he's like a pure psychopath. Like, it's such a mask. Yeah, go ahead.
You should try to see if there's a way they can ban the website, because I checked beyondpro.net. That's still live. Like, just to avoid people getting a scam and applying to these jobs.
That is glad you brought that up. That's exactly why I'm moving so quickly, because it is a public health emergency. Like, I already have, as far as damages, it's over 300,000 claims already. Like, we're just scratching the surface. This thing's going to go into the millions and millions of dollars. And the quantity of victims all over the country, it's probably in the hundreds. And so, like, all I can do with what I'm doing is like, you know, and I mean, really, from a content standpoint, I'd like to stretch 20 interviews over a year, you know, but I'd rather get this guy arrested because it needs to happen. So I'm going to get that referral over to the AG's office this week, because they got that whole team of investigators. And then that way they can do their thing, right? My job's to do the story and bring it to the table. And so, to your point, it's like that website needs to get shut down. All the providers need to pull the contracts, and they need to get arrested. It's no different than using a handgun, except they're using a contract, in my opinion.
Yeah, the way they talk to their employees, they don't use like professional tools. They use an app called Group Me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
They
have the entire
created-
Group Me chat with all 300 people.
Yeah, it's not. That's an old chat because they started doing like more filter groups to the point that there were less. So you might not have like the most new recent one, but yeah, they removed me from everywhere. But that's the channels they used to work, and yeah, they just removed you right away. Like the 2 or 3 times I asked about payroll, they told me like, or they removed my message right away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think that was a pretty good first interview. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because I had a good, like, they did help me when I got started, but, you know, they
what?
messed up.
I've heard that from Larry too and other people. And that's why like a little bit ago, I asked you for like really the perspective on when you saw it go bad. But really you can hear it from Bryce's own mouth when he on that call with him the other day when I talked to him, is that in his head, he makes poor business decisions because he takes his money and does philanthropic things with it, right? And so
what I think happened, I don't know, it's not that I know 100%, but I remember I think his mom or his dad, someone was very sick. And somehow I felt there was like a financial problem after. I don't know. Call me crazy, but your intuition, probably he was using the company money for into something personal, and that's how his business got broken after.
I think it was a combination of things. I think it's that. I think it's the opulent lifestyle, going on hunting trips and things like that. That's not cheap. Buying shotguns and spending money on toys all the time. That's not cheap. Those types of things. But really, it's what's so interesting about the story, right? Is like there is a duality to this guy, and I can personally identify with that. I'm literally a schizophrenic, like for real, like that's
And do you know if he's still married to his?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is I've gotten I don't know. I can't even count them of people that witnessed their affair. I've got an allegation that Lane has a tattoo of Bryce on her that the wife doesn't know. He has his son in marketing materials, so I've had to redact his son out of some things. So it's just, honestly, the whole thing's just such a mess. And really the only solution is let's just pull the plug. And how we do that is get this to law enforcement, and then we pick up the pieces and go from there. And in the time
that's the only way I could understand that Lane is protecting him so much, because
well, it sounds like they're in love. I mean, Bonnie and Clyde, except not good.
Yeah, but I'm glad I'm out of that situation already.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you are too. And so, okay, so if I'll give you my email. Do you have the email yet, or you want to give
I think you text your email earlier.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you just want to send whatever you can find. Like I said, if there's something relevant to the next link stuff, cool. And then we'll just kind of go from there. You feel free to text me anytime. I get real busy, but this is my cell number. And if you think of anything additional, text it, email it. And then if you're interested in participating in the feature documentary film, let me know on that too. We'll start filming that next year. So
sounds good.
Okay, cool. Well, right on. Well, thank you.
Thanks to you.
Hey, before I forget, before you hang up, can you spell your full name, first and last name for me, correct spelling?
Elena, E as in Echo, L as in Larry, A as in Echo, N as in Nancy, A as in Alpha, Ramos, R as in Robert, A as in Alpha, M as in Michael, O as in Oscar, S as in Sam.
Right on. All right, Elena, thanks for participating. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Bye.
Okay, see you.